considered plummet. It's time for you to talk more.
I've given all I can, my master, after talking about that one big story of you. What else do you want me to cover? I could cover the Witchblade crossover from the comics. That too?
No! Anything else that's going to fill my power to full potential. Dear boy, I need you to discuss this story.
Master, I sadly don't have the willpower to do that. If I do, I might...
A risk I'm willing to take. What else do you have to live for?
Nothing, my master.
Now talk my puppet.
The Darkness 2 was a rather anticipated title for many fans of the series, and it was welcoming to see its return 5 years after the first game. This time around, the look, the feel, and the vibe has taken a new artistic approach, which I'll get into soon. Starbreeze Studios, whom crafted the previous title, didn't develop The Darkness 2, as Digital Extremes took over. 2012 arrived and it was put onto shelves for the Xbox 360, PS3, and even the PC. Let's dive into this colourfully dark entity. You get a previously on from one of the newer, crazier characters, Johnny Powell, and he explains the events of the Darkness. Years have passed and Jackie is now the head of his mafia gang. The Darkness has been quiet for a long, long while. Jenny still remains in Jackie's thoughts, and he's got a new haircut. It begins with Jackie heading to a colourful fancy restaurant with two diamond gals that are probably eager to fiddle with his nice suit. But then this happens.
Oh shit! Jackie, get down!
You're dragged out of the restaurant with a rather ghastly looking leg wound, reference to the first game's leg incident. Viddy, your main man, is helping you out and it plays out like a backwoods on-rail shooter, taking out all these mysterious foes that are out to get Jackie. It's a good start on making the situation tense. Then they blow you up and Jackie is essentially dying until the Darkness returns and unleashes its new form in the goriest way possible. And we're back to what we had in the Darkness, yet everything is a tad different. Already, the gameplay and controls have been improved to make the further action sequences fast-paced, intense, fun and challenging. Jackie moves around these chaotic environments smoothly, and with all these bad dudes about the place, you'll need it. So we go after all these guys that are after you, and get a feel of these Darkness abilities. Like before, you have these two Darkness fellows with you, but they have more freedom. Using the right trigger lets the Darkness demon arm slash about to knock down debris, stun enemies and smashing them too. What makes it so addicting to use is that you can slash in different directions by motioning the right analog thumbstick, leading to some cool ground pounds and attacks. With the left trigger, you can pick up objects to throw which can impale, smash, stun and slice enemies. It can also be good for shields too, as you'll be moving a lot around your surroundings. And with the demon grab, you can grab stunned enemies to then perform some of the most gruesome executions you'll see in a game. Making our way through, we meet our Darkling companion who has an amazing accent and loves to call Jackie Monkey.
Hello, Monkey! It's been too long! Give us a hug!
I'll pass.
He's very useful in battle as you can latch him onto bad guys and he'll distract them or take them out. Jackie heads through the subway, whacking out all the lights and generally causing havoc. Well, that happened. You see Jenny again, die, and are transported into a different place. An insane asylum. This is a current element of the game and it's to make you question on what is the real world. Is Jackie being in the asylum all but a dream sequence, or is it actually the gospel truth? These scenes make you believe it to be true, but then at parts, you can tell, yeah, the Darkness is playing tricks.
You have no idea about my schemes and plans.
After covering the previous story, I think I have a basic knowledge on you.
Just you wait, brother.
We awaken to foresee this loveliness, and Vinny takes us back to Jackie's mansion, which is kind of like the hub/sanctuary to relax a little bit after all the chaotic gunfights and comic-style gore. There's not much to do. There isn't any side quest to accomplish like in the previous title, but Jackie can roam about to talk to his mobster friends so you can get to know them a little bit. Add some development with the side characters that have their own cliche traits. You can talk to Frank and Eddie, who always give a good banter about stuff. You'll encounter this crazy dude outside named Dolfo, who gives you a bottle shooting challenge, and that's where the main fun lies around the mansion. That or the joy of turning on every tap in the mansion. Riveting. Characters from the original game return, such as Jimmy the Grape, Butcher Joyce and Aunt Sarah, who all have their shining spotlight at times. You light up a candle for Jenny, and Aunt Sarah gives Jackie a big lecture to move on. Afterwards, we head on out to find out who these random enemies that attacked us are. We start off at a bar and go straight to town on them till we find Swift, a criminal that knows a bit about the main antagonist. He runs like a bitch, as most of these villains do in this series. Can't they just negotiate or something? Then again, I wouldn't if I saw these slimy snakes on someone's shoulders. He runs through this abandoned construction site, and I believe it's time to talk a bit about essence upgrades. Throughout the Darkness 2, Jackie gains points, also known as essence, like an arcade game. You're rewarded by performing executions, shooting lights, eating hearts, and killing enemies in creative ways. Here we have the wheel of upgrades, with each slice pertaining towards different abilities. You have upgrades for weapons to perform faster reloads, obtain a higher ammo capacity, and stronger hits. The Darkness execution wheel that contains extra execution prompts like shields, battery charging, ammo, and health. Darkness abilities like the Swarm, which stun the enemies around you and is very effective for intense sequences. This gun channeling modification that'll shoot enemies into oblivion, and the best thing of all being the black hole that sucks enemies into the dark vortex and causes serious damage. And not to forget extra effects to assist Jackie, like extra damage with the demon arm, extra health, and more darkling damage. This is one of the few advantages compared to the first Darkness game. You feel rewarded unlocking all these upgrades, and they're very effective and useful for the progression of the story, whereas in the Darkness you get a notification that you can use these certain abilities, and that's that. Makes you forget about using them, honestly. Jackie faces against Swift, who's got the upper hand by using a wrecking ball, all until I throw a few gas tanks at him. He runs away yet again, and then Jackie visualizes yet another Jenny dream. This moment, it's nice.
I was thinking maybe you could come over to my new place and we could watch a movie or something. Hello? Earth to Jackie? Are you okay?
Jenny, is this real?
Yeah, you and me, young and in love. Face it, you lucked out.
I swear these scenes grill your brain, wanting these two to be together even though it's a tragic inevitability. Of course, it was all in Jackie's head, so we get closer and closer to getting Swift. A few hordes of enemies later, and the Darkness decides to become selfish and kill Swift before getting vital info. But hey, money is good.
You murdered people slaving away for weeks fighting, killing each other for a few words in a leather wallet. Such bliss.
Sadly, that's what makes the world go around. I wish Acons were our new form of currency. Coming back to the mansion, and we get to see Johnny Powell, who is rather ludicrous after consulting with Jackie to hide away the Darkness. With a package, you find a little bit more about who is out to get Jackie. A cult known as the Brotherhood, a legion of foes that wield some darkness powers but are in need of its full potential. Jackie gets ready and heads to a grungy place where people will have all the good times. You meet up with Venus, a lady with fabulous red hair and a rather alluring green dress. She helps you out a bit to deal with all the business going about with the Brotherhood and leads to action. Hey, I haven't talked much about the gunplay yet. It's the same as the last game, only improved to a major degree. Jackie is swifter to move about, making targets easier to aim at. The precision and aiming is easier to do, and makes the action sequences active and fluent. The variety of weaponry is the same with dual pistols, dual machine guns, shotguns, and rifles, but they all have a big punch to them, and you feel the impact of a headshot or a total obliteration, and with the inclusion of demon arms it leads to some fun combos. The funny thing is that the darkness guns are completely gone, all in exchange for gun channeling. I told you they weren't that good.
Okay, I get it, you slut of grime.
Before moving further, let me just compliment the graphical presentation. The Darkness 2 is wildly different compared to the last one, and at first, I thought I was going to hate it. But I think it works with the tone of the series as it pays respect to the comics. Plus, considering it's a rather violent experience, it was wise to keep it at a colourful contrast, otherwise this one might have been too much for some viewers. It's a dark game, but it's a very luscious, vibrant and colourful game. If you think pure black is dark, wait till you see dark purple. Characters have great facial detail, the locations have their own style and alluring design. Speaking of which, the level design is great, leaving lots of claustrophobic spacing and then at times some open space for big battles against hordes of enemies. Personally, I prefer the presentation from the first game, but I do commend the change for this installment. Jackie gets blinded by the light like a rover in the night and is held captive on a cross by the main villain, Victor, leader of the Brotherhood. What does he want? Well, he wants the full power of the darkness, of course, because he's crazy, wants to rule the world, and can't seem to find a good source of Pantene for his slimy black hair. The way of taking the darkness is this siphon thing, and it's sort of a crucial aspect of the story. Victor makes you choose between Frank and Eddie over a television, and I choose what is rightfully wise. Jackie gives in to getting rid of the darkness, but oh shit. Yep, he goes completely nuts, stabs a dude in the face, gets the hell out of the burning sex house and back to the mansion where shit is going down. It's a race to Jackie's bedroom, all whilst being delayed by the Brotherhood. And at this point through the game, the Brotherhood have become more challenging foes to face against. Another positive over the first Darkness game is the variety of enemies. You'll have standard ones that shoot, but then there'll be foes with extra armor, ones with a shield that needs to be grabbed off with your darkness arm, douchebags that'll shine a light right in your face, making Jackie all the more vulnerable, and enemies that'll teleport about the battlefield on your every move. It keeps the action fresh, and leads to more strategic elements rather than shooting your way through. We make it to the bedroom and goddammit, this douche named Bragg, one of Victor's henchmen, kills not only Jackie, but Aunt Sarah off camera. It's not even a silent death, he just slaughters her, keeping to the gritty vibe of this world. Well, looks like we know who's going to die next on the Brotherhood chain. Jackie returns to the asylum ward, only this time we can explore further through the facility. Also, Jackie's bald. And he has some Darkness comics in his room. What a fourth wall break. So all the people Jackie knows in the real world act crazy. Well, crazier than before. All their doctors like Jimmy the Grape. And even Jenny. It's all a bit of a mindfuck, but then you run out of the door and awaken again. 4 days have passed and we're to attend Aunt Sarah's funeral. Such bad timing. A rainy night occurs, everything all goes normal, and Jackie even holds an umbrella, but... Yep, Bragg is absolutely dead. Personally, aside from Victor, all these other sub-villains are very forgettable. They kind of feel rushed and padded into the game so you can have some decent boss battles, and the boss battles are exactly that. Decent. Not memorable, but provide a challenge without the bad guy standing like a bullet sponge. After a massive chase through the cemetery, we face off against Bragg as he teleports like a madman, and I'll admit, what the darkness does to him is gruesome, yet awesome.
My power is almost complete. Keep going, you puppet. Keep going.
I don't know how long I can talk about it, Master. Can't I take a break or something?
No stopping whatsoever. No, I'm tragic.
Jackie finds out where Victor and his gang are hiding out, and it's at a shut-down carnival. This is where the challenge starts to show off its true cel-shaded colours as multitudes of various enemies attack, sprawling with many light bulbs to the face. A few deaths ensue, and sadly when you die, the game over a screen is rather underwhelming if you compare it to the disturbingly scary and creepy death screens from the past game. As you fight through, you'll also be fighting the shooting range to win Jenny a giant teddy bear, and I will admit, this line kind of got me a bit.
Hey, Ratface. Remember that secret I was gonna tell you? I love you, Jackie Estacado.
By this point of the game, you're ever so strong, and all these Brotherhood henchmen are easy feats, but still can manage to kill you if you're not in the zone. More Jenny sequences occur, one being on a spooky horror ride that's rather exciting. Then you get locked in an Iron Maiden because Jackie really wanted to see what was inside, I guess. Ow. After that, you become the British Darkling, and you gotta get Jackie out of the Iron Maiden before his darkness powers deplete. The darkness is rather simple to control, and he mostly works best upon stealth. He has to stay in the dark, otherwise he dies, and it's wise to execute a few baddies here and there. Jackie is set free, but only at a cost. He no longer has his darkness abilities, making the game a wee bit more challenging, till you get them back 10 minutes later. There's a small boss battle with a guy called Peevish, and he's alright to fight against, but not really memorable in any regards. Just more or less the same old shtick. A random point of time to mention this, but the music, while not as grandiose as The Darkness, still has some good compositions. Mostly the soothing ones such as the Asylum theme, the Mansion theme, and Whenever You See Jenny. The music when you're in the midst of shooting, whilst good, goes by and you won't remember it afterwards. Another random thing to mention is the collectibles. In each level there are relics to collect that contain lots of backstories about the darkness and other myths and legend. They're not too hard to find considering they're exposed around candles and purple lighting, but still feel satisfying to find. We finally get to Victor, and he has a somewhat entertaining boss battle. Sure, you mostly shoot at him constantly, but there's sections where he'll shoot out vertical and horizontal blades, and you'll need to use the darkness arm to slash them away. Then he'll unleash a horde of enemies to defeat, and it's good for regaining health and ammo. When you beat him down to a pulp, and you'll hit him, and Jackie takes the siphon only to do this.
You dare defy me!
Jackie knows how to die in style, I'll give him that. He returned to the asylum one last time, but this time your Darkling friend helps you on escaping and make it top of the roof. You're given two choices, and
I don't think I can go on anymore, Master. I'm lifeless. I'm weak. Please don't make me continue.
Just choose to stay in the asylum and all will be done. You'll be free from it.
wake up.
What was that?
Did you hear what I said? Pick the asylum.
Okay.
I want to be with Jenny.
You and Simon's sister flash your dad and my choice.
Jackie chooses the true reality, and he's out to save Jenny, held captive by the darkness. He rummages through the many darkness creatures in the underworld using these fleshy yet effective guns. After pulling Jenny free from her prison, you win. You save Jenny and get a rewarding emotional scene.
And that is the darkness too. While a lover of many things such as the presentation, the improved gameplay, and the continuation of the story, I felt like it was a bit lacking content and it's very short. And not to forget.
Did you think that was the end?
No, that was it. That was all I covered.
You have to let go.
I'm not doing it.
Let go, puppet.
No.
No. That is not a crystal mountain of a human. Let go.
Fuck you.
No.
Who are you?
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Why do you keep saying that?
Let's go.
No,
Let go.
I'm not going to let go.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'm not you.
Let's go.
Why are there two of you?
Let's
I'm
go.
one person. Stop
Let's
telling me to let go.
go.
I'm not going to let go
Let's
of
go.
Jenny, alright? Story's over.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
I get it. I get it now.
I implore you, do not smash the master of darkness.
What? I'm gonna smash the shit out of this.
No, you diverting cut away too much and on and spit it out.
I don't have your stone and fuck you anyway.
That doesn't even make sense. No.
Wake up.
Skulls! You're alive!
Yeah? Well, technically no, because I'm a candle, you idiot.
True, but you know what I mean. Well, so what happened to your clean, fragrant wax?
What the fuck? Did you forget everything that happened for the past year? You dropped me in a vat of dirt when we were camping, you bastard.
What about the Master of Darkness, that entity that made me kill you by accident?
The what and the what now? You must have had some potent drugs behind my back or you dreamed some weird shit. Oh, I know. You played that average Castlevania ripoff Master of Darkness one time with those partying psychopaths. Then you killed them all. That probably did it.
But it felt so real. I swear it happened.
Well, I didn't see any of it, so it was a fucking dream.
You don't have eyes, though.
Don't think I know that.
Yeah, I know. I'll be honest, Skull of Skulls. It's good to have you around for company. Although you act like a bit of a prick sometimes. You make these dark, rainy days a bit more enlightening.
Even though you're a fucking idiot, I too enjoy having you around. I don't know who else I'd be bitching at, man.
Thanks, Skull of Skulls. I appreciate it.
No problem. So, what are we gonna do right now? You thinking what I'm thinking?
I think I am Skull of Skulls.
Killer
Killer clowns from outer